If you haven't heard already, the FPS Games Show actually had a reveal trailer, and they are going to be showing off a few exclusive videos from Rainbow Six Siege, Escape from Tarkov, of course, Ready or Not, because that's what I cover, and a bunch of other games like Gray Zone Warfare, Scum, Body Cam, and a lot of other games that are just related to FPS. Now, this is going to be happening on the 3rd of September. It'll be happening at 7 p.m. BST, which is British Standard Time. If you're curious about Eastern Standard Time, then that's the zone I'm in. It will be happening at 1 p.m. on Twitch. I will provide the link below if you are curious for when you want to watch that. I will also be covering, of course, any content for Ready or Not when they do show these things. So if you miss the show, I'm obviously going to be covering at least the Ready or Not portion of it, and I'll be obviously playing and discussing anything that's new in the game. Also in the description, I will have a lot of the games that they'll be talking about within it. As I said, I'm also going to be linking any links related to this. So I'm going to show you the reveal trailer. They don't really show anything new per se, but I will link that so you have the information if you want to know. But you will see a list of games that they will be featuring exclusive videos from, and you can see that in their description of the video that I will link. As I said, the reveal trailer for the FPS Games Show 2026. So that will be in the link below. You guys want to check that out. And just a real quick note about my channel specifically. Did not necessarily aim to make this channel specifically a Ready or Not channel only. This channel was supposed to be any games that I like to play. So to be clear, I'm not like diverting from Ready or Not, but I will be playing other games as well. I will be covering and still making content about Ready or Not whenever there is some available. And if I have any ideas for Ready or Not, I still really love the game and I still support Ready or Not as a game, generally speaking. And of course, would like to see Ready or Not evolve into something better and maintain its general quality and hopefully have it not be decreasing in quality as time goes on. But with that said, I will be playing other games. A lot of games I would love to cover will include, generally speaking, a lot of the time RPG games, because I do like RPGs quite a bit. And I'm also planning to cover ideas within gaming. So like, for example, what makes a good game? What makes a game difficult? What is difficult in a game? More conceptual ideas about games and less about the specific games themselves, but maybe the mechanics or perhaps like the philosophy that goes behind making certain decisions within games in terms of like from a developer perspective. So let me know if that sort of thing would interest you as well. I'm still going to be probably doing it regardless, but I'd like to see if you guys have an interest in these types of things. I am going to also be covering a little bit more into the tactics of Ready or Not as well. It's not something I've really covered too much on this channel, but I do intend to cover that in more depth so that almost anybody who's playing Ready or Not can take these skills, aka transferable skills, to other games and still do decently well. Because a lot of the time, this stuff is grounded in things that are going to be working in a PvP setting, but also PvE settings. Like for the game Operator, knowing and understanding the priority of things to clear whenever you're doing a room clear. Certain corners will open you up to other areas that will expose you to gunfire. So obviously we'll always try to avoid that or be aware of that and try to circumvent that. But a few games that I am intending to cover it is going to be Outward 2 and probably Titan Quest. And of course I'll be continuing to, cover Ready or Not and play it and make content for that as well, as long as there's content to make. And maybe here and there you might see a Door Kickers 2 video just for the tactics side of things, because it is very helpful and can be very great for understanding the mechanics of the angles and covering people, and it's easier to actually just visually see what's going on with the actual formations of your squad that you're playing with and such. You can actually get a better understanding of like the perspectives of everybody and what's being covered. I do also intend to cover a game called No Rest for the Wicked. I'm not sure if anybody has an interest in this type of game, but I may or may not cover it. It is an RPG game, kind of like Dark Souls. It has a little bit more to it than just fighting. There are other like crafting, and there's like some, you can buy like a house, for example, and do more kind of quest related things. It's much less, like there's like cities and stuff, and there's like, different builds you can do and stuff like that. So it is kind of like Dark Souls in terms of the way the combat is. And a really fun thing about it is that it's actually co-op. So I end up playing with other people as well. So that'd be really fun to do. But tell me if you have interest in seeing these kind of things. I do appreciate everyone's responses and feedback. And if you do want me to do something or cover something or play something, just let me know and I'll definitely take a look at it, because it is nice to know what you guys are thinking or what you guys are enjoying about a certain game, and maybe you want to share that with me. And of course, that allows me to share it with everybody else, of course. So all good things. But also, would you guys, and tell me if you guys would be interested in something like me just playing through a game and kind of seeing how I do it, kind of like a let's play. Let me know if that something like that would be interesting to you guys. Maybe you just want to kind of put it on in the background and kind of listen to it as a long form video, as just like a white noise video. And maybe I could like start playing some games and doing, as I said, like let's plays or first time playthroughs of games. I think that'd be kind of fun. I might also start streaming potentially. There are a couple things I still kind of need to set up for that, but my intention in the future is to stream in the long run. So eventually you will be probably seeing me stream, and obviously that won't really take away from the content that I'd be making on YouTube, but it's just there as an extra thing if you want to consume more about the games that I'm covering, or honestly just want to like pop in and say hi and talk about maybe your, favorite game or something or anything, or if you have any questions about any videos that I've done or something like that. And of course, for the other people who also want to potentially play with me, for example, playing Ready or Not together, for example, or doing some type of community event. And if you did miss the update about Ready or Not, there was a post about it on Steam. And also you can just check out my video real quick for anything that you're looking for in terms of information. But the current information right now is available, and I'll just kind of like roughly sum it up right now, if you don't want to go look at the specifics of it. But generally speaking, there is going to be a map mission editor, so you can actually edit the traits and behaviors and weapons and armor and characters and kind of like how enemies behave within the map. So for example, if you want to make them, give all of them a bunch of knives, for example, everybody in your mission, and they'll become really aggressive, for example. So you can kind of make like a zombies-esque kind of gameplay style where they're rushing you with knives. So you got to watch your corners and, be careful, of course, because it'll be kind of like a swarm of zombies attacking you. But that's kind of just like one concept, of course. And obviously there's a lot of other ones that people have come up with. But generally speaking, having the ability to change certain aspects of the mission, so things like having less bandages, having less health, for example, giving suspects less health, changing their weapons, changing their quality of their armor, changing their behavior so they can run away more, be cowardly, have a bunch of suspects that all look the same, but maybe one of them is hiding a weapon or something, and then you have to really check who's who and if an enemy is an enemy, and kind of be more cautious and aware of that, where everyone looks the same, for example, and you can't really tell, because if you've played Ready or Not for a long time, you can kind of tell if it's a suspect or an actual civilian a lot of the time, just because of they all kind of look the same after a while. You're like, okay, well, that's the suspect, that's the civilian. It's kind of obvious most of the time. Pretty rare a lot of the time that you can't tell that whenever you are playing the game. But obviously when this mission editor gets added, it is going to change that dramatically. And of course, add a lot of replayability to the game, which everyone is super excited about. And of course, with all of that update as well, they're obviously fixing a lot of glitches that were, present within the game. So for example, like the G18-C, the pistol that has, was automatic or fully automatic or whatever, they're fixing it so now you can actually reload the gun without it actually, because before it was like maintaining its ammo every time you press reload. You'd have to do like a mag drop, pick it back up, and then you could change the magazine. It was really silly. It's just a glitch, of course, but obviously fixing things like that. Hopefully they fix a lot of the other things that I've been requesting as well, but we'll see how that goes. And just for the sake of it, I will also have that development briefing from Void Interactive down below. It's just a link showing you and talking about like the modifiers for the SWAT AI, the civilian AI, and players and miscellaneous modifiers and stuff, and a short patch preview of some of the fixes that they kind of showed, as I just kind of discussed. And hopefully, maybe there'll be a few more things, maybe not. I would love to see more things added to this game, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, to recap again, the FPS Game Show is going to be happening on September the 3rd on Twitch. As I said, I'll be linking everything below. When I click on that, I'll have a link to the Twitch channel directly. Also have a link to the FPS Games Show YouTube channel, and you can see what's included with all the videos they'll be showing that are exclusive from those said specific games that they also have in the description, in their video, in the reveal trailer. So how many of you guys are excited for any of the games on the list? Obviously, I'm going to be covering Ready or Not, and hopefully they can make Ready or Not, a game that we saw it as originally when we first played, or the first time we ever saw the game and got interested in it. Anyway, that is it for the video. Thank you for watching and have a good day.
Hey, yo, no full auto in a building, dude. No full auto.
That's not full auto. This is full auto. Oh.